If 2020 was to finish right now, Daniel James would finish on 1 goal and 1 assist. That at this level just isn't enough. It is not enough. In in your first season, at least 10 goals and 5 assists is decent, or 10 assists and 5 goals. That's something you can build off. That's a great start. It shows you adapting, but it shows you've adapted quickly. It shows you've got used to the league. It shows you got used to the squad, the style. But this indicates to me that there's still a lot for Dan James to work on. And I think it comes down to his decision making that I think is his biggest kryptonite, in the sense that he gets the ball 1-on-1 and sometimes he doesn't know what to produce, whether it's to produce a cross, whether it's to create a little yard of space, and sometimes he doesn't even know how to create a simple yard of space against a deep block defensive unit, which we've come up against a lot throughout our campaign this season and the season before. And I think he needs to work on learning how to beat his man, even if it's calling over players and trying to sort out 1-2s to give him that extra yard of space to do that cross or to do that shot. He definitely needs to work on his finishing in terms of placing of shots and working out when to place, when to shoot, like flipping, put your whole leg through it kind of thing, like power shots and stuff. He needs to work on knowing what to do in certain situations. Similar with Rashford, similar with Martial, but at least still with them, they still give you end product to some extent. Can't really say the same for Martial though, actually, this season. Rashford, but like, you know what I mean, in the sense that there needs to be end product, and Daniel James just hasn't been giving enough of that. And I think one of the things is his issues as well is creating space for himself. He is not very good at that. Daniel James is at his best when we're counter-attacking or we're against a team that are playing a high line. But majority of the teams that we're going to play against in the Prem are going to sit deep and try and counter, because United seem to be very vulnerable against counter-attacking teams and struggle to break down deep blocks at times. So Daniel James needs to work on his take-ons and his decision-making. And I think once he's kind of perfected that, he will start to produce a lot more end product wise. He'll get in a lot more situations where he can produce something. And over time, it will take a lot of time and patience, but there's still potential there. It's just whether he's going to hit that potential, I personally don't know. I don't think he's gonna hit it, but I want him to. I want him to be this amazing player that can start, that can come off the bench, that can be getting 20 goal contributions a season for us in 30, 40 games or so. I mean, you may sit there and think, oh, that's not great, but if that's someone that's coming off the bench for Mason Greenwood or Rashford or whoever else is playing right wing, that 20 goal contributions off the bench is pretty solid. That's he needs to. I guess the best way to explain it is he needs to be a player that is pushing the starters to be better, in the sense that if Greenwood comes off, Daniel James can put in a shift, and Greenwood will be like, oh, okay, I need to step up my game in training, I need to step up my general game because I'm going to lose my place. But the thing with Daniel James is Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford can put in a bad performance at the moment, and they'll get dropped for the next game. Daniel James may start, and he's not going to play well, and so you end up getting dropped the next game, and Mason Greenwood, Rashford can win their places back. Their places are not under threat by Daniel James's presence. Why else do you think we bought Traore? Why else do you think we bought Pelestri? Because Daniel James isn't enough. If he wants to keep his place at this football club, he has to improve his ability to beat his man. He needs to improve his decision making and his end product. He has to train harder. He has to bulk up muscle wise, increase that shot power, increase that crossing range. He's got to work on crosses religiously in training. But all these things is just extra work, and I think he can still produce something. He can still be a valuable squad player. That potential is there. I do see it. It's just whether he's gonna unlock it, I don't know. I'm not sure. But hopefully with Traore coming in and Palestri, there's a chance that he could go out on loan to maybe another Premier League side lower down, and he could improve via like that. I'd love to see him at someone like a team like maybe Southampton or Brighton. I feel like he could do really well there. But yeah, I think the main thing that bugs me about Daniel James is the fact that, well, if Daniel James was a meal deal, he would probably be ready salted crisps, Evian water, and plain ham. Like, do you see how bland that is? That pretty much sums up his game. Like when I see him take on his man, he doesn't have a move set that he knows that he can replicate that gives him that yard of space to produce something that the best wingers do, like Ronaldo, like Mbappe, like Messi, like Iron Robin, like Mahrez. The fact that I said Mahrez and Robin in the same sentence doesn't seem right. Sane, Douglas Costa, they all have moves that they can replicate, that they can do in game, game after game after game, that gives them that yard of space to be able to produce something. And I feel like if Daniel James practices something, whether it's a little step over combo or a little feints, improves on those, knows when to do those, when not to, etc. I feel like if he does that more, he's going to create so much more space for himself, and he'll be able to produce a lot more. That's what it is, I feel. So yeah, that's my analysis on Daniel James, a player that when I look at him last season, I was like, why is he playing a lot of the time? But there's potential, but I don't know if he's going to fulfill that potential. But there's hope in me that he can fulfill that potential and be a valuable squad player to this team. And I hope that he does, because I don't ever want to see a player come to United and fail. I don't want to ever see a manager come to United and fail. I want everyone to succeed and be a valuable asset to this amazing football club. And I feel like Daniel James has the potential, but he does have to work on a few things that I've stated. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I shall see you very soon. Ciao.